I have a lot of people in my life that think that I'm very busy and I have a lot of things to do, and why in the world, Gary, it's not scalable. It's not sustainable. I think you'll appreciate this and this will make sense to you. You know, from the little I know and in our banter, I always believe that you can't slow down winners. And honestly, for me, it's like, you know, I think everybody does it differently. For me, if we're competing in that market, it's not that I'm gonna look at what you're doing. Like, I'm not the kind of person that will look at what you're doing, appreciate it, and try to add that to my game, which I think a lot of people do well in sports and business. My thing is that I'm so focused on what I'm doing and I'm making assumptions that you're gonna do great too, and that there's so much abundance. Do I want to lose a pitch to you for Nike Southeast Asia? Absolutely not. Do I think that there's 95% of other people that stink, and if somebody's good, they deserve to win business? I absolutely do. I think it's very bad business to suppress or be petty with other winners. I watch people do it with me all the time, and I laugh. I'm like, your keyboard hate is not gonna stop my growth. I would argue keyboard hate fuels my growth.
The best way to become successful is to figure out why failing is so important. The ones who hate failing are good, and the ones who honestly don't care about failure are also good, but it's the ones who fail and decide to stop after their first failure are the ones who truly give up, and the ones who will never be successful because they don't understand how incredibly vital a failure is. Because the more and more you fail, the more and more knowledge you gain in that subject, and the more and more experience that you have in that area, and you can learn and use all that information that you've gained from the failures, which hurt. They suck. It feels like you got punched in the gut and spat in the face on. It's gonna be challenging to build yourself up from them, but it will happen if you focus on the right areas and focus on the road ahead and not the road behind you. Yes, you can fail 300 times, but if you get up 301 times, it can be that last time you get up that you become successful. But if you wouldn't have gotten up from that failure, you would have never known, and then you would just have given up on your dreams after trying 300 times. Everything would have been a waste of time and you wouldn't have gotten anything from it. But since you decide to get up every single time, eventually you will become successful because you are that focused and determined on achieving your goals. You'll do whatever you can to make sure failure doesn't happen again and again.
You need to bet on your strengths and don't give about what you suck at. Way too many people in this room are gonna spend the next 30, 40 years of their lives trying to check the boxes of the things that they're not as good at, and that you're gonna waste a load of time and lose. I highly recommend auditing yourself, or if you have no empathy or EQ or self-awareness, then find somebody in your family or friendship that does and let them tell you who you are. And once you believe that, either for yourself or someone else told you, go directly all chips, all into that, because that is the only possible way, in my opinion, watching from the outside, that is, let me rephrase, that is a very highly likely way of over-indexing. Because the truth is, if you wanna be an anomaly, you've gotta act like one. Nobody you know has become successful outside of it being given to them from their family. Nobody you know has actually created success without working their face off. It doesn't exist. So you can sit and talk about luck, and you can sit and talk about this, that, or the other thing, but I promise you, the only controllable thing you have is your work ethic. So, going back to the beginning of my talk, you need to deploy serious self-awareness and figure out who you are. I implore you to start matching your work ethic and your actions to your mouth. If you're gonna be a billionaire, you need to realize that most people that create $1 billion worth of wealth don't do anything besides work every single day of their 20s and 30s. Every person that works at VaynerMedia has taken more vacations in the last 13 months than I did in my entire 20s and early 30s. My family went on 2 family vacations my entire childhood. Stop crying and just keep hustling. Hustle is the most important word ever, and that's what you need to do. You need to work so hard. Guys, we're building businesses here. This isn't about parties. We're building businesses. I used to work in a liquor store from 7 in the morning to 10 at night for 7 straight years, and the only days off I took were to watch the New York Jets. And you know what that did? It made me throw up on myself, so that wasn't a vacation. I don't want to hear about this 2-job thing, right? 9 to 5, I don't have time. If you want this, if you're miserable, or if you don't like it, or you want to do something else and you have a passion somewhere else, work 9 to 5, spend a couple hours with your family. 7 to 2 in the morning is plenty of time to do damage. But that's it. It's not gonna happen any other way. You're not gonna make stickers and give out swag and everybody's gonna give about your site. I mean, you start building your equity and your brand and whatever you're trying to accomplish after hours. Everybody has time. Stop watching Lost. So, you know what I mean? I mean, if you want this, if you want bling bling, if you want to buy the jet, work. That's how you get it. Let's talk about community. Listen to your users, like Freed said. Absolutely. People listen, but they don't do anything. Doing something, answering those emails, giving a crap, caring about your user base, that's what you need to do. You need to care about everything, and it starts with yourself. That's how you get it. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what do I want to do every day for the rest of my life? Do that.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section below.